Hi there, it's Leslie here with YYC Knits. You can find us at yycknits.com as well as YYC Knits on Ravelry, Instagram, and Pinterest. So we're back here just showing you how to do a provisional cast on. So we're starting with a crochet chain for our hat called Stripes, and our hat pattern here has a brioche ribbing, and then it goes into stripes in a helix knit, and then we've got a faux fur pom-pom on the top. So this is our little hat pattern, and it looks great on, but what we ran into is for the brioche ribbing, it's very stretchy. So we wanted to be able to do a cast on that was stretchy enough to stretch with the brioche. And this one here, I did it as loose as I could, and we've still got a little bit of less stretch than the brioche. So I did a lot of brainstorming, and what I basically came up with is doing a provisional cast on, only to cast off in the other direction or the opposite direction when you're finished your hat, doing an extra stretchy bind off. So that's it's a little bit of fussing, but it's worth it in the end because you get a product that you're super happy with, and that works really well. So, this is fine if you're not as fussy, but I just wanted to take it the extra mile and make a product that I was really, really happy with in the end. So let's get started. So what I've done here is I've just done a crochet chain, and it might look to you like it's pretty long, but it's just trust in that it's going to work out. So what we're going to do is we've got our crochet chain here, and as you can see, the one side is like so, and the other side has these horizontal bars, or like a dash in them. So we're gonna take that, not the side with the V's that looks like a knit stitch, but we're gonna take these horizontal bars, and every single bar that you see, we're gonna take our for this requirement here, I've got my gauge on a 3.5 mil needle, so we're just gonna take our knitting needle, and I've got a small circular hat needle here, and we're going to go into that horizontal bar all the way down, and we're going to pick up and knit our required amount of stitches. So for the size that I'm making, it says cast on 96 stitches. So I am actually going to cast on one extra in order to do a jogless join in the round. So we're going to have a few techniques in this video that will show you. So hopefully you can see it here. We've got that horizontal bar. So we've got 2 stitches cast on already. We're just going to leave a little bit of a tail here, and we've got our crochet chain, and we're just going to go into that horizontal bar all the way down while casting on our stitches. And all this basically does is it just leaves these stitches live so that we can take this chain, unravel it, and work these stitches in the other direction. And there'll be live stitches on our So I'm hoping that you can see that. So we've got the one side which is which is our V's, and then the other side, which has these horizontal lines. So we're just picking up. We're going into each of those horizontal bars on the back side of our crochet chain. I'll see if I can zoom my camera. So we're going into each of those horizontal bars on the back side of our crochet chain and picking up every stitch required in our pattern. So they'll use this for, say you're wanting to work the neck of a sweater, and say you're just starting it like as a loosey-goosey neckline, and you want to later on add a cowl or a turtleneck onto your sweater. So you could start with a provisional cast on there. As well, if you are wanting to pick up and knit a hood on your sweater after you've completed the sweater top down in the round, say, and you've got your provisional stitches on. You could also do a provisional cast on only to graft two ends together. So at the end, if that was something you were after, like say doing a long scarf and you wanted to knit it as long as you wanted it and then graft your two ends together, you've got those stitches just waiting for you to pick up at the end and knit with. So I'm going to continue along, just picking up these stitches, these horizontal bars, all the way along our crochet chain. And we'll just continue doing that while we put the video on hold. Okay, so hi there, we're back. So we're just continuing on here with, we've casted on our 97 stitches. So our pattern says to cast on 96, so we're going to cast on one extra, and I'm going to give you a little extra tip here for when you're joining your work to knit in the round. So we've got all of our stitches cast on to that little horizontal bar, and you can see how everything looks nice and neat and tidy, and that's what it looks like there. So you can see that, and I've just been very careful to follow all the way around and make sure that my knitting is not twisted. So we're actually just gonna double check and make sure that when we join these, we're not joining it in a Mobius with a twist. So we've got a good join here. So to cast to join our knitting in the round, so we've got our working yarn on the right hand side here. And we'll just put that in front of us. We've got our little stitch marker, and so we've got our working yarn here on the right hand side, and we're going to take the first stitch that we cast on and just slip it over to the right hand needle. And this stitch will be loose because it's not tacked down, so try not to pull it out too much. We'll tighten them up in a bit. And then we're going to cast on that, or we're going to cast off the one extra stitch that we cast on. We're just going to take that stitch and we're going to put it over top, or we're going to cast it off over top of that stitch there. And we're going to take this stitch on the right needle and just slip it back on to that left needle, and this is going to be where your marker is going to be placed, and you will begin knitting from here in the round. What you'll want to do is you'll want to just tighten up your working yarn and your tail and make sure that things are nice and tight, and you're going to take your working yarn and begin knitting from here. So that's a jogless join in the round. We've placed our marker, and we've started knitting in a circle. So we've got these stitches that will be able to be picked up when we're finished knitting our hat, and we'll be able to just place them back on the needle. We'll undo the crochet chain, and we will just ravel it out or undo it all the way around, and we'll be able to cast off these stitches by doing an extra stretchy cast off, which I will do a video for when we're finished knitting the hat. So there we are. We've done a provisional cast on. We've taken our contrasting color. We've just tied a slip knot. And we've taken a good size crochet hook, and we've just crocheted a chain of about 10 more stitches than we need. And so one side of our crochet chain has the knit-like V's, so you can see that these V's are all going vertically down. And on the other side, we have horizontal bars that we just inserted our knitting needle into in order to pick up our stitches all the way along our crochet chain for our provisional cast on. So these little horizontal bars are what we're going to use, or what we did use, to pick up our stitches with. And then at the end, when we place our needle back onto our live stitches, we just take this crochet and undo, and voila, our stitches will be live on our needles, ready to work the other direction. Happy knitting!